There is no product that we have promoted more on Fightful that I use while I'm awake than NordVPN.com/Fightful. You guys have probably seen me anchored to my desk an awful lot for quite a while, and I've always got NordVPN on all my devices. That's because that's what NordVPN.com/Fightful allows. You get the fastest VPN in the world on all your devices, on all your operating systems. It is so beneficial to have that versatility. Here at home, I put it on my router just in case, and I put it on my phone, laptop, desktop, PC, and smart TV. That allows you to get all the benefits. The online threat protection, the ability to change your virtual location with just one click, the ability to use that NordPass password manager, the file encryption tool, all that good stuff on everything. Also, you can subscribe to all those overseas services I'm telling you all about, all with 24/7 tech support and a 30-day money-back guarantee on top of an already amazing deal. Protect yourself on all your devices with NordVPN.com/Fightful. What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful, here with a name you know. Last time you saw her here, she was on Fightful programming, burying Denise Salcedo, appropriately.
Sorry, Denise. Love you, Denise.
By the way. Now, she is a working pro wrestler. Izzy, how you doing?
I'm good. I am so excited that we're doing this finally. I mean, it's taken years for you just to like cave in and ask me like, hey, let's interview. But I guess I had to become a pro wrestler to make it on the show, correct?
Yeah, that must be it.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to say, I admire how you've done things.
Thank you.
Because you did a match long, long ago, and you know, there's natural criticism for that.
Yeah.
And instead of letting that get to you, you went and you did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
That's right.
You worked in media.
Yes.
You did interviews. You trained to wrestle, and now you're working all the time.
Yes.
How has that process been for you? Because you are a really good example of learning everything that you possibly can about something and then jumping into it.
Yeah, and I think that's something I really want to highlight about my story is I have truly done everything besides be a pro wrestler. And I was 8 when I really decided I wanted to become a professional wrestler. And I'm 16 now. And I had my debut this past August. And I think for me, it was really hard doing everything but be a professional wrestler in the ring.
Yeah.
Because this is all I've ever wanted to do. And like I would say the main thing that really kept me from doing that was the naysayers.
Yeah.
And it was really hard being 10 years old and going on Twitter or Instagram and seeing all the stuff that people wrote about me. And it did wonders for my self-confidence.
A lot of people feeling way too comfortable about some of the mean things they said.
Oh, yeah. It was rough. And it was like hard seeing it come from people who I looked up to, people who I watched weekly on national TV. Like, it was really difficult. And even people who I used to train with, like, it was really difficult for me. But I think for me, it made me such a stronger young woman, a young woman in pro wrestling. Because this business is very cutthroat, as we all know. And I think looking back at all those times, it's like, you know what? I'm proud and I'm happy that those people wrote all that crap about me because look at me now. I'm at Wrestlecade. I'm sitting with Sean Ross Sapp. What is happening? I'm going to be on Ladies Night Out tomorrow. I just went down and looked at the ring and there's a crap ton of seats and I was like, wow, I'm wrestling in front of this many people. What is happening?
So, as I mentioned, I saw you doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
And I trained a lot. And
you did? I always forget that you did.
Yeah, and I would see things and I was like, oh my God, she's good at this. Like I would see little transitions.
Who would have thought?
How aggressive you are when you're at tournaments.
Rage.
Because that's
female rage.
Aggressiveness in that situation is not something you can really teach. It's
No.
something that you adapt to. And like that often is a benefit in wrestling training. How has that helped you with wrestling training?
It's helped me so much, and I don't think people understand how much Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu can help you inside the ring. Because a lot of people are like, well, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you're actually meant to hurt somebody, and then pro wrestling, I'm not going to say the F word, but y'all know what I mean. But I think it helped with me being so fluid inside the ring. And I think like what's so awesome is that I'm able to take what I do on the mat and do it inside the ring. So for those who don't know, my finisher is an armbar, and the armbar is a move that I've done for such a long time in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think it's really awesome that like I was able to, even though people said like, oh, you shouldn't be in pro wrestling, we don't want you here. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to make my own little box, and it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And guess what? I'm back in pro wrestling with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
The thing I love about that move is if you have an uncooperative opponent, tough. You can do your finish. You know,
that's what I'm always so scared about. I'm like, okay, listen, like, because when I was, practicing my arm bar, I was figuring out what I wanted my finisher to be. For those who don't know, it's a backstabber, and then I transitioned to the arm bar, which I was practicing on my dad for the longest time. When I was doing the arm bar, I was always scared that I would actually hurt somebody. So, like, I asked my jiu-jitsu coach, I was like, hey, do you know how to do a bad arm bar? And he was like, I haven't. My coach is a black belt, obviously. Shout out to Coach Ricky. And he was like, listen, I haven't done that in, 10 years, and since when I first started. And so, I kind of had to figure it out. So it's hard sometimes when I actually go to jiu-jitsu training, I have to do the right arm bar, and then in pro wrestling, I got to do the bad arm bar. But it still works. People be tapping out.
I saw Effie running around here. You gonna jump him, attack him?
I said hello to him.
Oh, mending fences.
Yes, what is happening? We took a picture. Always good to see my friend.
Scotty Riggs over here. Running in.
I don't like your shirt. I don't like his shirt. His shirt, real bad. Oh, come on.
You got it.
Come on, man.
It's time for the new
Over
generation.
here and just put the Cowboys front and center.
Oh, you even got a
Oh,
gosh.
no.
Yes, Sean.
Oh. Bet you regret
Izzy?
that.
Izzy?
Izzy.
Yes.
Izzy?
Izzy.
Izzy.
I-Z-Z-Y. It's okay.
Izzy.
See,
She's very famous.
I'm old.
Oh, it's okay. I'm young.
Youngsters who are taking over the business.
Thank
That's
you.
what I need to learn them.
Yes.
So it's a good thing today.
Yes, nice
Izzy,
to meet
pleasure
you. Thank you.
Sean, you're doing well, kid.
Thank
Keep it
you.
up.
Thank you so much.
Go Cowboys.
Listen, you know what?
I don't know about kid.
He's a former WCW tag champion. Maybe WCW comes back and you become a tag champion.
Maybe.
I doubt it.
Who would've
I
thought?
doubt it. I doubt it. But we mentioned Effie.
Yes, Effie, my good friend.
I'll tell you another piece about your past I'm interested in. Coming back to haunt you. You're a Swiftie now.
Oh! I got a little nervous because there's a lot of people coming back from my past that are haunting me.
I know. So I got you to admit on camera that her album was trash.
Which one was it?
I can't. Which
What?
one was it, Jeremy? Which album was trash?
No, but
None
which
of
one
them,
did
he
he make
says.
me say? Because if it was Reputation, then I...
It was about 2 or 3 years ago. I have never been more excited on air. Where I was influencing you.
That's
I was
my
like,
favorite album.
I was
I'm
like,
such a bad person.
Say it's trash.
I
say
know.
it's trash.
It was because you influenced me. I really love Reputation is my favorite album because literally it's so synonymous with my life.
Yeah.
Like she basically left music and then she came back with a bad reputation. Look What You Made Me Do, my favorite song, for so many reasons.
It's such an underdog story, that Taylor Swift. Let me tell you.
Yes.
To be a beautiful, talented woman that can sing, how could she possibly make it, right? Like, I can't imagine. So I've noticed your gear, obviously inspired by some of the people that you're connected to on screen.
Who?
I love that. I think
Thank
that's
you.
great to pay homage to that part of your life, which is obviously a big part of your life.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what so many people identify you with.
Yeah.
What other inspirations have you looked at for gear?
Definitely Taylor Swift. Definitely Taylor. Listen, I go to this place in San Antonio and there's this fabric that looks like snakes and my mom is like, listen, you got to do the Eras Tour Reputation outfit. Put a picture of that. Like, imagine how good I'd look in
Making me
that.
do editing this
Yes.
too?
Imagine how good I'm going to look with the one leg. Oh my God. It's going to happen. But yeah, definitely Taylor Swift. There's a couple of things that I'm like, oh, for a big match, I'd want to do this. So keep on the lookout. For my purple and green gear, that one's really important to me. Yeah,
Okay.
my purple and green gear.
Okay.
That one's really important to me because I have a very close friend, Emily, which those colors are very important to her. So that was really awesome to honor her. But I think when I was thinking about my gear and my character as Izzy Moreno, I really like to think of Izzy Moreno as a totally different person, which I know sounds weird.
No, it's okay. I mean,
But
I get it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay,
You're a
what would she?
performer.
Yes, I'm like, what would she like? What would she wear? How would she act? What's basically how would she walk down the street? What would Izzy Moreno be like? And I think when it came down to my gear and my colors, I was like, okay, purple and green, I have to do. And the zigzags, I don't even know how the zigzags came to place. I was just like, it's fun. It's you
Yeah.
know, and it was funny because my gear designers, they're very very specific, and they weren't really accepting a lot of clients at the time. They're like, we don't want red and black gear. And I was like, oh, trust me, mine's not red and black. And they fell in love with my gear. And so now we're just we're making gear. I just came out with the skull one.
Okay.
That one was really awesome. Everybody's like, oh my God, Sasha gear. And honestly, I had no idea. I bought the fabric without knowing it was like her Brooklyn Takeover gear. And I was like, oh, cool, dope. And then I'm coming out with new gear for Ladies Night Out.
Okay.
I'm really excited.
I love what Ladies Night Out
Yes.
does.
Oh,
They and
yes.
Title Match Network have been incredible.
Yes.
So, now that you're wrestling regularly, I have to ask you for advice.
Uh-oh.
I have my first match in 6 years this Saturday against Shazam McKenzie.
You're effed. You're effed.
It's a street fight.
Ooh.
Don't worry, you'll understand when you grow up what weapons and street fights are about.
I cannot wait for my street fight one day. I'm like I did like a match last month. It was a 6-man tag. And when we went outside the ring and I got slammed onto a table, that was the closest thing I'm going to get to a hardcore match as of right now. I was so hyped. They were like, we can't really hit you if anything because we don't want to get disqualified. That's not what we're going for. But I was like, slam me on the table. I was like, I don't care. I want to get like messed up. And I actually got a bruise.
God.
I was like, I got a bruise from like that whole weekend. The bruise wasn't from the match. I got the bruise before the match. We don't talk about that.
You're going to end up working in like a Mankind mask by the end of your career. She's going to be 22 years old. Hey, guys.
like all like twitchy. Like it's going to be so bad.
Izzy Moreno.
Izzy
We're
Moreno.
going to be talking so many times in the future. I'm very
Yes.
excited for you as you've launched your career. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yes, thank you for having me. I feel like I said, maybe I had to become a pro wrestler and you finally let me on the show.
Yeah, we let you on the show twice before that.
But
you
it
were on the
was-
show regularly.
But it was another girl. It was another girl. Izzy from the Hot Tag with Izzy.
Okay,
I mean,
sure.
okay, listen. I see her once in a while. I see her around my house, like sometimes. And she's like, hey, Izzy Moreno, when am I coming back? And I'm like, girl, you're never coming back. She's like, what? But I really liked being in those press conferences. And I'm like, girl, stop lying to yourself. You didn't. You didn't like it. But here we are. Izzy Moreno is here. And she's here to stay.
She is here to stay. Until next time, guys, we're out.